So right now we have a way much more not complicated but complex expression with perfect square trinomial at the top, perfect square trinomial at the bottom. So you will have to factor those, cancel them out, solve, find your expression, not solve find your expressions, simplify and factor them out. So the first thing that we're gonna do is factor them out. So in order to do so, we're gonna use the AC method. So we have the x squared plus 11x plus 24. So let's say put 25, I put 23 plus 24. So the question that you need to ask yourself is, what are the numbers when I'll multiply them? It's going to give me 24 because the AC is 24. And when I add them, it's going to give me 11. And the numbers that I'm thinking about are 8 and 3. Because 8 by 3 is equal to 24. And 8 plus 3 is equal to 11. So the numbers that we're going to use to factor the first perfect square trinomial is, it's not a perfect square trinomial actually. It's not, because if it was, so I would have get the square root of the first one, the square root of the last one, and then factor it. But it's not a perfect square trinomial. So that's just an equation. So in order to factor the equation that I have, so the numbers I'm gonna use are gonna be 8 and 3. So I'm gonna do with x and x, positive 3 and positive 8, because the last term is a positive. So in order to get a positive, so we should get either a positive on each side or a negative on each side, so that the sign, if it was positive, will be preserved, and if it was negative, so that when we do the negative by the negative, it could give us a positive. So we're gonna verify it. 3x by multiplying the inner and the outer. The inner is 3x, the outer is 8x. So 8 plus 3 is equal to 11. So we have our middle term, which is 11. So we already factored the first part of the expression. So we're gonna factor the other part, which is 8 squared plus 3x negative 40. So we all again gonna find the numbers that we, a number when we use it, when we will multiply it, it's gonna give us 40, and when you add it, it's gonna give us 3. Interesting. So what numbers when I multiply it can give me 40, and when I add it, it's gonna give me 3. The numbers that I'm thinking about right now are 8 and 5. Not only 8 and 5. So it's negative 8. Is it? Nope. Positive 3. So it's going to be positive 8 and negative 5, because the negative can be the sign of the greatest one, because the sign will be preserved. So we don't want to preserve the sign for the final answer. So we're going to put it on the negative 5. So 5 will be negative. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So we said that the numbers are 8 and 5, because 8 by 5 is 40, and 8 negative minus 5 is 3. But we're going to find negative 40. So that's why we need to have one positive and one negative. We're gonna factor it out. Parentheses first. X, obviously. Positive a, negative 5. This is gonna be our final answer for factoring the second equation. So we're gonna verify it by multiplying the inner, which is 8x, multiplying the outer, which is negative 5. The final answer is 3x, positive 3x. What was our middle term? Our middle term was positive 3x. So the numbers are correct. So the answer for the first problem, which is factor not factor the numerator. We didn't answer any question yet, but the steps that we have taken are really important, so they will help us to actually answer the questions that we have. So we said the factor of the first term is x plus 3 by x plus 8, and the factor of the second term is x plus 8 by x negative 5. So the first question is factor the numerator. So the numerator is x squared plus 3x negative 40. So the factor of the numerator is 8x plus 8 and x negative 5. How do we know it? We did verify it like 1 second ago. So that's going to be the factor of the numerator that they ask us to factor. So we're going to get the restriction or the restrictive value. To get the restrictive value, we're going to do the denominator is equal to 0. Restricted values. So it's going to be x plus 8 by x negative 5 is equal to 0. So we're going to end up having x plus 8 equal to 0, x is equal to negative 8, and x negative 5 is equal to 0, and x is equal to positive 5. So those are going to be our restrictive value. And the solution will be negative 8 and 5. So each time they ask you for the restrictive value, go back to your expression, find the denominator, find the numerator, and do the denominator is equal to 0. So that's the only way that you're going to find your restricted value. And the last question is simplify. Like we already factored the first part of the expression, the numerator and the denominator, so it's going to be pretty easy for us to simplify because we already see the like term, and we just gonna cancel the like terms. At the top we have a x plus 8, at the bottom we have a x plus 8. The x plus 8 will be canceled out, and we end up with only two terms, one at the top and one at the bottom, which is x plus 3 over x negative 5. So this is going to be the final answer for simplified expression. So there you have it. So in order to simplify the expression, you actually need to factor it and get those common factors and cancel the stuff that look alike. In order to get the restrictive value, you just need to find your denominator, factor it, and solve the denominator equal to 0. And that's pretty much it. And if you want to factor an equation, an expression, you can use different methods such as the trial by error method or the AC method and all the methods that we have out there. So it's not really complicated. So it just depends on what kind of method that you want to use and what are the stuff that they're asking you for. See you on the next one.